Many entrepreneurs often have to skip meals because of their busy day. They've got so much to juggle. They've got teams to manage. They've got people to train. They got to deal with sales. They have to plan the next campaign, do the collateral, do creatives, all kinds of things. The day is full of stuff they need to pay attention to. And very often, they don't have the time to eat. So they skip meals. And that means when they go into meetings, guess what? Their hunger is screaming at them. They're hungry. And they're trying to focus in a meeting. They really, really struggle to be able to focus while in meetings because of all the meals they have to skip. And often they rely on their willpower and discipline, right? If it's like if you ignore it enough, somehow you can last through the meeting. And often they do. They make do. They do what they can. And they eat when they can. And often they eat very ad hocly throughout the day. And the problem with this approach of solely relying on discipline and willpower is you are actually reducing your brain's capacity to pay attention to what's really going on in these meetings, what's being discussed, what are they telling you. You struggle to pay attention to those. Even worse, what they're not telling you. Often people say stuff to you, but there are things that they're not telling you, either because they forgot or because they maybe new, inexperienced. They're the key things that could potentially make a negative impact on your business. These key important information are important, and you need to be able to see deeper beyond just what in the service, and that will help you make better quality decisions. As an entrepreneur, you're not paid for the hours that you're in the business. You get paid for the decisions you make, and that's why decision making is so important, and that's why having the energy and focus to make quality decision is going to be important for you, even if you have to skip meals. Give me the next 5 minutes. And I'm going to show you how you can stay focused and energized in meetings, even if you have to skip lunch today. And to help you implement everything I want to share with you, I have an executive vitality checklist. And that gives you everything I talk about, all the things that you need to look out for so that you can get yourself in a high performance state, even if you skip a meal and even if you go to meeting hungry. Hi, my name is Stephen Koh, Executive Health Coach and founder of Executive Warrior Academy. I've helped ambitious leaders from all over the world reignite their energy and focus, helping them become unstoppable at work and in life. And I share regular videos that's designed to help you tap into your superhuman potential. When you train your body to be able to fast and to burn fat for energy, what that unlocks in you is almost an infinite store of energy to help your brain work better, even when you don't eat. And that's the issue. Majority of us are trained to just eat for energy. They burn carbohydrate for energy, for their ability to pay attention. And unfortunately, your carbohydrate store in your body is like this. If that's how much carbohydrate store you have, when it's run out, you get hungry. Your stomach is growling. You find that you're so-called low on blood sugar. You find that you've got brain fog and you can't think properly. And then you try to will your way through the day to hopefully last at your day. And the reality is you can go through your day, but you're performing at a fraction of how you could be performing if you've got a lot more energy store to last the day. Energy store that lasts a day without eating. And that energy store, everyone's got it. Some of you have a lot more of it. It's called fat. Your body can consume both sugar or carbohydrate for energy as well as fat. It's a hybrid machine. Majority of us are not trained to tap into their fat store. So when they run out of sugar, run out of carbohydrates, they get stuck. Okay, and that is the reason why you go into a meeting feeling hungry, having this brain fog, inability to focus, and you miss critical information. And the way to turn that all around is to start to train your body to fast and tap into that fat store. And that requires a phase of transition. Right? We call this ability to burn two different type of energy source for energy. We call that metabolic flexibility. Okay, so developing metabolic flexibility allows you to tap into both fuel stores. When the carbohydrate run out, your body go, no worries, mate. We're gonna start burning fat and just transition. There is no dip. It just okay, we start transition and you've got all the energy you need. And that doesn't require you to eat because you have a significant fat store, such a significant reservoir of energy that it doesn't worry the body when you skip the meal. So the way you can do this today is to first learn to skip your breakfast. You might have heard this thing called intermittent fasting. right? And almost like it's a brand new thing. Guess what? You've been doing that all your life. You just didn't know it. Everybody intermittently fast. It's called sleep. When we sleep, we don't eat. Therefore, we fast every night. What I'm asking you to do is to extend that fasting window just a little bit longer until you're really, really feeling hungry. So don't eat breakfast out of habit, out of just because that's what you do every morning. Let it sit and only eat when you actually feel a significant strong hunger. And what that does is it trains your body to cope without the sugar, without the carbohydrate, and to start to tap into your inner reserve, your inner potential energy reserve. Okay, so when you do that, that will start your training process. It takes about 2 weeks for people to get fat adapted, and you can actually help that along with this little tip. Because a lot of clients, when I start getting them to start skipping breakfast, they have the usual symptoms of not eating breakfast. They get hungry, they start thinking about food all morning, and they're trying to hold themselves back. You don't need any of that, right? You don't need to suffer. You can train fasting very, very easily by drinking a fat caffeinated drink. Bulletproof coffee is an example. You can call it fat coffee. There's a ton of recipes. You should just go and Google bulletproof coffee, how to make one. But the way it works is the fat gives you energy. So you're teaching your body to burn fat. But what you're giving them is a special type of fat that can transition to energy very, very easily, very, very rapidly. It's called CA or caprylic acid. And this form of fat is what we call a medium chain triglyceride. It's a form of fat that almost instantly as you eat it can transform into energy called ketones. And that can power your brain, that can power your heart. It allows you to focus. And caffeine in the drink in the morning actually doubles the amount of conversion. It actually creates a lot more energy. So when you try to first use fasting to train your body to be able to burn fat for energy, having this drink will help you transition so much smoother. What happens is when you make this drink and you drink it, it feels so alive. It feels so focused, and you don't think about food. It allows you to last all day. Okay, so this is a hack that I highly recommend you give it a go to help you transition. And one of my friend Darren, he's a banking executive who used to snack all day long, right? Because he's got that problem. He can't go in the meeting without eating because he just feels the hunger all the time. He's hungry all the time. Not only does that take a lot of time, it puts a significant amount of weight on his waist, and that is a problem. But once he was able to use my tips to transition to burning fat for energy, it means his attention and focus are steady all day long, right? It's no longer controlled by whether he ate or not. Now, obviously, you want to have a good eating pattern, right? But because he's no longer bound by food, he was liberated, right? And this is what will happen when you learn to tap into fat for energy. And I have my executive vitality checklist to help you implement the step. It's a step-by-step guide to help you transition from relying on food for energy and focus and constant eating to where you can learn to burn fat for energy. So when you go into a meeting, you're focused, you're laser focused, you can pay attention to everything, you remember everything, you don't miss a beat. Okay, and that is the guide that if you want, drop me the word focus below. I'll send it to you for free, no emails required, just for watching this video. Now, when you first start to implement the tips, one common issue you may encounter is a bit of tiredness or foggy brain, and this is completely normal. And when you go through the checklist, I'll give you tips on how you can overcome that. So we'll talk about the fat drink, but there are some of you who may still get the foggy brain or feeling tired when you actually transition into burning fat for energy. Okay, you might feel almost like having a cold or flu. Get the list. I'll send it to you and you know exactly what to do when you encounter this problem. I hope you find this video useful and I'll catch you around. Take care.